Welcome back to the EA Crypto channel. My name is Bitget. Thank you so much for watching. Guys, we have a jam-packed show. There's so much to cover. Next week is going to be absolutely huge. If I was Trump, I would say bigly, because it is going to be massive, guys. We have FOMC meeting next week, and then after that we have midterms, and just the crazy volatility of every day now, right? Because these clown markets are absolutely crazy. So we're going to talk about so many different things. We're going to talk about BTC, Ethereum. We're going to look at something with Doge that I find very, very interesting. Big, huge token unlock on the morning of Saturday, November 5th that we're going to get into with IMX. You guys got to see what I'm going to show you with this one. This is huge. We're going to look after Aptos. I'm still trying to get my money back from the 10K I lost shorting Aptos last weekend. I'm getting close. I've gotten 7,300 back this week, so 2,700 to go. Let's see, LUNC. We're going to cover LUNC. Something big happened with it last night. That was big. I'm going to show you guys a trick I'm going to do moving forward with that token, because it's not the first time it happens. We're going to talk about Elrond, and I'm going to show you a couple things with a couple of kind of shit coins that I noticed that you can short or go long in. That I noticed something very interesting as I've been trying to monitor more and more charts and bring more charts into my process. So before we get started, real quick housekeeping, guys. As you know, I have an affiliate partnership with the guys over at Bitget, and just click on the link below and you will get $15 for just sending over, depositing 50 bucks. It takes literally 1 minute. This is it. This is the sign up. Email, set up your password, my referral code's already in there, and boom, you're good to go. And then it shows you down here what your rewards can be as you use their platform more and more. And I also wanted to show that with Bitget, there's something really, really cool that they're doing. They're calling it the KCGI to kind of celebrate the World Cup. They have Messi as a sponsor, or I guess as a partner. I'm not even sure how it works, but you know, good old Messi's in there. And they have a lot going on with this really, really cool, there's Messi right there, with this really, really cool competition that they're having with all sorts of money they're giving away. So go check all that out. Just, you know, get into it via my link, and then go just, you know, check out which of the competitions you want to be in. It's just like free money all over the place. And it's KCGI 2022. So I think that that's really cool, really exciting. All right, guys, so let's get into it. So much to cover, and I'm going to try to do it in a very quick amount of time. All right, so let's start with Doge. I can't believe that I'm talking about Doge. Probably the first time I've ever talked about Doge on the channel. So craziness of Doge, it's been the talk of all of crypto. Even Peter Brand himself is talking about it, which is, you know, when even this guy's talking about it, you know that it's on everybody's mind. And yeah, I mean, it's been a pretty crazy run for Doge. So what to do now, right? There's a lot of talk about it. There's a lot of tweets about it. But from a, you know, trying to make money perspective, I kind of like this tweet right here. Kind of funny, this person did that. But really, you know, all kidding aside, the more important thing to do is to try to figure out how to make money off this. And there's a couple different ways of looking at it. So, you know, I guess one could make the argument that this could be maybe a bull flag. I don't think so. I guess I saw someone post that. I was like, I can see why they would say that, but I just don't know. But more importantly, I do see, you know, a lot of interesting things happen here. So 15 cents was, without a doubt, if you look historically, it was a great point of resistance. And I do see a double top, right? So we do see the double top. We see, you know, this right here. And then, of course, we see this right here. To me, that just looks like a double top. But we will see. I mean, I kind of formed this little parallel channel. Not sure if this will hold. It's obviously on a 1 hour chart and just on the weekend. So not sure if it's going to hold, but the important thing to look at here, as I'm trying to get rid of this drawing, is that I think a good way of playing it is twofold. I think if you wait and you check to see if this kind of holds a support, maybe, again, it's just the 1 hour, hasn't been, you know, something that's developed for a very long time, then that could maybe give us some guidance as to what's going to happen next. If it kind of stays in that channel that we just drew, then maybe we can make another run up. Now, if it doesn't get that low, it starts trending higher. And okay, so I had already painted the, I should have just kept it on there. There we go. If it hits this line of what I think could be new resistance, possibly, and bounces off it, then there you can open up a short with confidence, I think. And of course, if it crosses it, then you wait and see, or maybe you open up a long to see how high it could go. But there is a lot of opportunity with this asset right now. There really, really is. If we look at a different time frame, you will see that this thing could run and run huge, right? I mean, this is insane, but it's done it before. I tried to do it here. It's done it many times before. For those of you who don't remember, it got up as high as 75 or 77 cents back when Elon was on Saturday Night Live not that long ago. So yeah, I mean, there is a ton of potential here. And now with Elon taking over Twitter, the fundamentals may be there. Like I got laughed at in the past when I said, hey guys, don't sleep on Doge. This was months ago. Don't sleep on Doge because of the fact that, there's development. People have been posting charts showing that there was a ton of development on Doge. So I think that if someone wants to hold Doge long term now, it doesn't sound like a bad idea at all, because in a bull market, this thing will probably run with the way that currencies keep getting debased by governments. The US dollar keeps getting debased. You got to figure that if it did 77 cents back before Elon took over Twitter, now that there's an actual possible use case, I mean, that supply is insane, and it keeps inflating. But look, guys, $1 Doge could be in the works, right? And that would be like almost like a 10x from here. So that's an interesting one to watch. But as far as short term, I kind of already laid out how I'm going to play it. Now, the other one that I wanted to cover that I find incredibly interesting, it's a good spot. It's a good spot is with IMX. So if we look at the IMX chart real quick, this is Immutable X. Their technology is really cool, right? It's basically they're going to do what they're saying they're going to do. They're going to make it so that you can't, change transactions once they happen. It's completely immutable. You gotta love that, especially in this day and age when you see all this craziness happening. But at the end of the day, and even Vitalik has been saying some things that sound a little weird, a little interesting. But anyways, the important thing to know here is twofold. First, we're going to look at token unlocks. Guys, this is a really cool site, and it's free. It probably won't be free forever. But it is an amazing site. So it tells you everything you need to know about any token unlocks coming up. So let's look at IMX real quick. On November 5th, so it's going to be around my time, 5 a.m. in the morning, on Saturday morning next week, 12.7% of the supply, of the total supply is going to be dumped on the market. 12.7%. And why is that such a big deal? Well, check this out. The current supply, circulating supply, is 12%. So it's going to more than double. The circulating supply is going to more than double. So that should put a ton of sell pressure, and it has. So we look at the chart, you'll see that things have not been good for this asset. This is the 3 hour. If we look at the daily, it's even more pronounced. So things have not been going good for this asset. Now, the open interest on it, there's a lot more shorts than longs. So that's where it gets really interesting. I think on Binance, it's like 54% short, 46% long. A squeeze is definitely possible. And I think that's what you saw happen here, where it already started squeezing a lot. Word's gotten out about it. And, this downtrend kind of hit this little bottom right here around 52, ran up all the way to 68. I opened up another short up there somewhere. I can't remember where. And I still have part of my short open. I don't really want to close it for the next few days. The problem is that if BTC pumps, this seems to pump with it sometimes. But when BTC dumps, this dumps, and it dumps really, really fast. So this presents a lot of opportunity. So like I said, there's still about 6 days left. So what's going to happen? I mean, common sense states that it should keep falling, but then right before, a few hours before the token unlock, it is possible that you'll see a huge short squeeze. So you got to keep an eye on the open interest. Coinglass.com, free site. They'll show you everything that you need to know, because it might make sense to keep the short open till a few hours before the token unlock, and then the short squeeze could happen. Or who knows? I mean, because with Axie Infinity last week, 3 hours before the token unlock, it wasn't as big as this one. It squeezed, the short squeeze happened, and it was huge. So if there's a short squeeze to be played here, I want to play it, but at the same time, I want to keep my short open until that happens. So it's a really tricky spot. It's a fun spot. It's a spot I think that maybe we could find an edge in. And it'll be really interesting to see where it is. I mean, every time it pumps right now, though, it's a good time to, I think, it just has so much sell pressure that every time it pumps, look at that. Look at these wicks down, wick down. But, it has performed really, really well ever since it hit 57 cents here. It hasn't given back all those gains the way, and it, especially since it was down here earlier in the week at 52 cents. So, this is one to keep an eye on. It's going to be really fun to watch it. It's a shame that the tokenomic is at 5 in the morning. If not, I go live to kind of show what's happening. Who knows if I'm up, I'll go live. But I think that it's going to present the opportunity to be a part of a short squeeze, but at the same time, opportunity to keep shorting it. So keep an eye on that one. Fun one to watch. I'm not really sure, what else to do. But one more thing I wanted to show is that look at the private sale, the initial users. They got in at 2.5 cents. Private sale, early users got in at 5 cents. And these numbers are based on, they're actually a lot. This was from like a week ago. Think about it. So add about 12% to all these numbers. So this one's actually really closer to about 35x. Private sale, QB Ventures, 10 cents, and so on and so on. So I guess the point I'm trying to make here that he was trying to make, Look On Chain was trying to make here. So shout out to Look On Chain for posting this, is that these guys are going to be looking to dump. These guys are going to be looking to dump. And I will not be one bit surprised at what's happening right now is that these guys are trying to manipulate the price. And that's why you saw this right here, because they want their price as high as possible when their token's on lock. That would not shock me either, which would really put some sell pressure, right, if that's the case. So there's a lot psychologically to kind of take in here. So tread at your own risk, but I just wanted you guys to be alert and aware of the situation, because to me is a big way to possibly make some really good money on the short, and then on shorting it, and then going long on the squeeze. All right, so we covered that one. BTC, got to talk about BTC. So CME futures gap closed at 20,740, I think, or 50 or 60, I can't remember, somewhere a little north of where we are now, but nothing big. So it's kind of, just hanging out kind of really close to where the CME futures market closed on Friday evening, which is good when there's not like a big gap fill. I think 95% of gaps with CME get filled. So that's why it's always so important. If you're going to take a trade on the weekend, always know what's going on with CME Bitcoin futures. Just Google CME Bitcoin futures, click on it, and you'll see it right there. Always a good thing to do on Friday night, because that will give you a very good idea of where to expect the market to end up either Sunday evening or Monday morning. And it really can help you with your weekend trades. Weekend trades are always so risky because they're so illiquid. These markets are so liquid, even during the week in comparison to usual. So on the weekends, they're really liquid. So I think it's part of why I got burned with Aptos last weekend. But anyways, so yeah, Ethereum's just going to follow Bitcoin. Really not a lot to talk about. I mean, it kind of just looks about the same. So not much to think about there. 1660 was actually a huge level of resistance. We talked about this on the channel earlier in the week. The next one is around 1730-ish. So 1730 is the next big one. If it can pass 1730, it's going to go to 1900. It just is. It does it every single time. So that is something to take a look at. But 1660, 1730, 1900, those are the big levels of resistance. And I've been having issues where my charts, my levels aren't saved. So when I go on, a lot of times I click on it and then it's gone. I don't know why this happens, which sucks because I wanted to just show you those levels. But anyways, we already talked about Doge. We already talked about IMX. So Aptos, yeah, this is, I need to do a video basically kind of illustrating what I learned, why I shorted it too early. I kind of screwed up there, but Aptos is still, I think, long-term an easy short. I mean, it is just crazy overvalued. Even despite this fall, I mean, at one point, just like 48 hours ago, its market cap was higher than Matic, which is absolutely ridiculous with everything that Matic has done. And DOT. So, look at, Matic's fully diluted market cap is 9.1 billion. And if we go down to Aptos, you will see that it's probably what, now in the 7 billions. Let's see. I gotta find it. Here we go. Yeah, almost 8 billion. And there's so little going on in their ecosystem. I've been keeping a very close eye on it. Their NFTs, like all the people that try to make money flipping NFTs, was like usual. The ones that created the NFTs made money. Everyone else got burned. Yeah, this is just a joke. The fact that their fully diluted market cap is 8 billion is a joke. Is it higher than DOT? I think it is, which is just ridiculous. Think about all the development, everything that DOT's done. Yeah, it's around where DOT is. So just a joke. I know that people are excited about their tech, but yeah, whatever. So anyways, so that's where we are with Aptos. So let's talk about Luna Classic. This is so weird last night, but let's learn from it. All right, look what happened last night with Luna Classic. I did not have a short open with them, thank God. But look, it rose about 17% in this 4-hour candle, and they gave it almost all back. It's not the first time it happens. If you look back, it's happened several times. So what I'm going to start doing with this asset is every night before I go to sleep, because it always happens at night. It's Asia pumping it up. It's always Asia pumping this asset up. What I'm going to do at night is before I go to sleep every night, I'm just going to like put some kind of order in to short it if it goes up, I don't know, 10%, 12%, because it always gives it right back. And it almost always happens when we're sleeping because it's Asia doing it. So that's what I wanted to kind of call out there, is that you see Luna Classic do this sort of thing, these little kind of scam wicks all the time. You know, whether it's market makers trying to liquidate shorts, it could be. Maybe it's just, you know, people FOMOing into it, but I doubt it. This has manipulation written all over it. So yeah, every night before I go to sleep, and sooner or later it's going to pay off. It's going to pay off, and I'm going to make it a big one. I'm going to make it a big order because you know, it's just unlikely that it'll keep going. So I'm going to do that and see how it works, and I'll let you guys know the next time it works and how much I made off it. So I thought that was an important thing to call out. But this asset does seem to be, you know, kind of leveling out. I do have to give credit where credit's due, even though I think it's kind of a joke. Now, you know, it has kind of, you know, ever since this low right here, well, no, we can't count that one, right? Because, yeah, ever since this right here on September 26th, Monday, this was when Binance announced the burn, right? So, ever since then, it kind of stopped this horrible downtrend that brought it down here. But then little by little, like I said, word got out that burn's not going to really make a difference for about maybe 7 years, if that. So, and that's assuming high volume. So it may never happen that it makes a difference. So ever since then, it started giving it back as we figured. Oh, by the way, look at this. Every time you see a big wick like that on the daily, things get crazy on the downside. So even though it has leveled off, I got to give credit where credit is due. Ever since here, it's leveled off pretty well ever since the 23rd of October. That's just a week, guys. I mean, are these guys really going to do a victory lap? Because for 1 week, they didn't, you know, descend as much as they had. So yeah, I mean, I still think it's a good asset to short. I still think that it's going to go down here to 18,000 at some point. I really think that. And this big old wick right here is not. It's like a cautionary. It's like the what do they call it? The canary in the coal mine, where it kind of tells you that something's up. So be careful with Luna Classic. I'm expecting downside. So, but I'm always expecting that downside out of this. All right. So Elrond, I told you guys, get in there. I even tweeted about it down here when it was at 54 and change. You know, 3 rising valleys is a very powerful structure. And then just to make you know, get those warm fuzzies and feel better, they have their big conference coming up on the 2nd of November in Paris. You know that they're going to do everything possible to make the price go up before the conference, to drive attendance to the conference, excitement to the conference, buzz, all that good stuff. So I expect more upside as we get closer to the conference. And then, yeah, post-conference, might want to short it. You know, I think all this is due to the conference, guys. All this right here. You know, it was on this horrible downtrend. I mean, it used to be worth like $600, I think. We can take a look at that right now. But look, it got down as low as $45. And then I think, you know, the marketing and everything, the word started getting out about that conference. And then you saw this. But I do believe that if Bitcoin starts to struggle, this will just give it all back. But yeah, long term, yeah, this is a great asset. If you're bullish on crypto like I am long term, if you want to start DCAing into this asset, I don't blame you. I mean, you got up as high as, you know, $540 back late last year. It wasn't that long ago, right? Less than a year ago. So yeah, it's giving a lot back. They are doing an ecosystem. I've had projects reach out to me asking me to do videos on the project. I don't know. The last one was like a launch pad. So I was like, I don't know, do I want to cover a launch pad on the channel? But I don't know, maybe I should. Because they're saying that they're the only launch pad on their ecosystem, but who knows? Everyone says that sometimes. What else? Oh yeah, so I did want to call this out. So these are two, I don't even know what these guys do. There's Jasmine and Mask. I think Mask has something to do with Web3. Jasmine, I have no idea what it does. But why am I tracking them? Because these are assets that you can short on Bitget or long on leverage. So I decided to start tracking these because they seem to have some weird things going on. So what I noticed is that every once in a while, and they both seem to do it at the same time, which is pretty interesting. Are we both on a 1 hour here? Yeah. What I noticed with these assets is that they'll do nothing, absolutely nothing. But then out of nowhere, you'll just see this spike in volume, right? You'll see this spike in volume. And then shortly after, okay, so we had the first huge spike in volume here, right? Really here, you can say, because this was nothing. This is almost like a 5x. And it didn't affect price that much at first. Yeah, only like a 10% gain. But every time that happens, you then see a big run up, like a huge run up, like almost like a 3x, more than a 3x. And I went back and it does, and you can see this on the hourly. So I think something I'm going to add to my process is every time I see Jasmine or Mask, I see their volume completely out of nowhere increase every single time. Every single time it then goes on this crazy, crazy run. So that is going to be something I'm going to start adding to it. Of course, I'm not going to take a long right now. The time to take a short would have been up here, but it looked like it was never going to stop. So I don't know. This was just a tough one to time after the craziness. But yeah, I'm just going to keep it. Like it's, it might take a month, it may take 3 months, but next time it kind of like, lulls and goes to sleep and nothing happens. And you look at this volume right here, nothing. Then kind of start looking every day. Did volume go up? Did volume go up? Can we see it on the daily more pronounced? We don't have to check it. See on the daily, it's a little easier to see, I think, right? So look at that. This is your first kind of clue right here. Boom, that big one right there. So this is going to be something that I'm going to start adding to my mix of Jasmine and Mask. When I see volume out of nowhere spike, it seems to be easier to see it on the 1 hour now that I think about it. As you guys can tell, I'm doing this more on the fly more than anything. Yeah. So, hold on. Yeah. Probably easier to see it on the 1 hour. So, yeah, just something to keep an eye on. And then, yeah, you just take a long and you see that volume start, and it's a very low risk on and a long. And if nothing happens, then you get out of it. Maybe you lost 2% or 3%, no big deal. But you're giving yourself a shot at like a 2, 3x. So just think about it. Say you do it on, 5x leverage. So you put $1,000. You 5x leverage, it's not 5K. And that thing goes up like it did there, 3K. You made 15K off your 1K, 15K. And that's just 5x leverage. So yeah, 10x, you made 30K, right? So yeah, just something to take a look at. And other than that, some of the DeFi projects that I'm in, that I cover, MDB doing very strong numbers, 0.14, so it's had a very nice week. It's very, very reliant on BNB. BNB goes up, MDB will go up even more. BNB goes down, MDB will go down. But this is a nice project. I really like the tokenomics of it. Wine's still struggling. Mshare doing fine. It's fine, right? Mshare's going to keep doing their thing. It's one of the few projects that actually, because of their auto compounder, it's self-sufficient, doesn't need money from the investors to make money, and it's actually making money for the investors. So I love Mshare. And then this is the one I wanted to cover. For those of you that don't know him, Res on Twitter, RES. He's a very respected crypto, I guess you can say, personality, whatever. He tweeted about this, did a thread. It wasn't like a pump and dump thread or anything like that. It was like a thread basically showing why he likes this asset long term. And it did some crazy things to the price action. His tweet, down here's where it was when he tweeted. And then it did this. Absolutely bonkers. So yeah, and I'm on DeFi Yield once a week as a guest with Res every week, and then we have other guests. We had some big guests. We had Jordy Alexander. We have Rob from Digital Asset News on there quite often. We have Patrick. We have some big Twitter names on there all the time, or just crypto names all the time. So definitely check us out on DeFi Yield. We're on once a week and we go live. But yeah, so this was something that I wanted to kind of call out. the next time that you might want to have him on your notifications the next time he does a thread of why he likes something long term. Again, he's not trying to pump and dump it. He's just trying to alert that, hey, I really like this asset long term. Look what it did. Like what, 7x after his tweet. So something to keep an eye on. So other than that, that's about it. The Dixie, I still think the Dixie is fine. It could go down to $1.07 and still be bullish. So keep that in mind, guys. So don't think, oh my gosh, the Dixie double topped or whatever, or it's it's done for. All the markets are going to go up. Nah, it can go down to 107 and still be very, very bullish. So don't get too crazy. So yeah, we'll see what happens. A huge week coming up, and the week after that will also be huge. And it's like, yeah, if you're not having fun with these markets, I don't know what to tell you, because there's just so much volatility and so many different ways to try to find edges. All right, guys, peace. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.